Yo, 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 what's going on? Is KDK Capri, the mentor, the mentee, and we're back with another episode of the What They Healthy podcast. We talk about all things wealth, we talk about all things health, we talk about all things business, growth, personal development. We just do everything, right? Because we essentially want to help you just learn how to navigate through life, right? And I just, go as my experiences come, right? That's how I get inspiration to write my episodes, right? So I just want to just connect with everybody in a different way, right? So, it's been a while since we came back with an episode. Like I said, on the last episode, yesterday's episode, we've been revamping things, right? So the next few episodes are gonna be kind of all over the place. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do things, right? So I just hope you guys bear with me, and just just appreciate the information that I'm putting out because I really am doing this for y'all. Like I really, like I really love just teaching everybody how to, just create a new lifestyle, right? Just becoming a different person, finding new ways to win, right? Like we all deserve that opportunity, right? So I just want to just highlight what we've been doing with the podcast, right? So this episode we're going to be focusing on how to shift your mindset, that great mindset shift that you just need to be a successful entrepreneur, successful business owner, to navigate through entrepreneurial journey that you are going to be in forever, right? You're always going to, even if you do start a business and you scale it, right, there's always going to be certain things that you want to, go and pursue after you scale your business, right? This is how we create the opportunity, right? So I'm gonna share my screen with y'all. I got another presentation for y'all this evening. Hold on, give me one sec. Yeah, from beginning. There we go. Okay. So the great mindset shift. Today we're going to be talking about, how to become an entrepreneur, right? How to shift that mindset, how to, start your business, right? How to escape the rat race and, quit your job, right? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And I want to talk about, strength. Overcoming situations creates strength, right? It creates character, it creates dedication, right? It creates you becoming a certain type of person, strength wise, right? You become stronger mentally, physically, right? And strength creates discipline, right? And discipline creates mentality. And mentality, when you shift your mentality, you can shift your lifestyle, right? Mentality is a big part of, the way you move, the way you live your life, right? The way you exercise your options, right? The way you look at things, right? The way you treat people, right? Your mentality has a lot to do with every aspect of how you move in life. And what is your mentality though? Your mentality is the characteristic attitude of mind or the way of thinking of a person or a group. So think about how you look at life, right? But your lifestyle is the way in which a person or group lives. I don't know why both of the T's is out. That's weird. Um, but lifestyle is the way in which a person or group lives, right? So when you shift your mentality, you can shift your lifestyle, right? When you shift the way you act and the way you think, you can shift the way you live, essentially, right? So if you think great, you think about growth, you think about you hold yourself to a certain type of expectation, right? You're gonna in turn you're gonna create that discipline, right? And then you're gonna create that lifestyle, right? So let's talk about starting this entrepreneurial journey, right? What does it mean to create a team? I want to talk about isolated hustle. I see, because I've done it myself. As starting out as an entrepreneur, we always seem to isolate ourselves as hustlers or ourselves as business owners because we always think we have to do things ourselves, or we think, we don't have the money to hire a team, which is holding us back, right? And that can essentially stop us from growing and, even getting certain type of sales, right? Because when you spend all your time on taxes, you spend all your time stressing about how you're gonna market your business or stressing about making your website. These are certain things that you could really afford to pay for because you're paying for that peace of mind, right? You're paying for that time back, right? So when you create a team, right, and you don't isolate yourself as a business owner, right? You're being an entrepreneur, not a solopreneur, then you can create a different type of business. You can create a successful business. You can create a business that is going to have longevity, right? And when you service more people, right, you're going to your volume is gonna, increase, right? So let's talk about creating a new mindset in opening a business versus creating a business with a business mindset. So what do I mean by that? When you create a business and you go in it with a new mindset, you're then going to be able to, skip all the guessing work, skip all of the games, skip all of the doubt, all of the things that were holding you back, right? All of the procrastination, all of the things that were making you feel like you didn't have the ability to do it, right? You can essentially get all that out of the way when you shift that mindset, right? When you learn that, your abilities are only for you, right? And that are only gonna be that only you can create value with, right? And then in turn, you can, go into your business with a huge confidence in yourself, right? And then you can start, evaluating your market and knowing, when you can jump right into the marketing stage, right? And knowing when you can jump right into creating sales, right? Or creating that first product and then going into making sales or creating a community, a clientele, whatever that looks like for you, right? Now, creating a business with a business mindset, that essentially means you're looking at it in a business aspect. You're looking at it with a money aspect, right? So if you're going into a business just for how much money you could possibly make, or if you're going into a business because you want to make sure that you can get a quick buck, or you think you're going to make $1 million overnight, or you're going to make money and not have to put in work, that essentially is going to be your downfall, right? And I see a lot of people going into business with that type of mindset, right? And you're going to essentially be buying another headache. You're going to be buying another job. You're going to be buying another a 9 to 5. Essentially, because when you buy a business and you're only thinking about the money, right? And you think about money being the highest level of value in your life, which is honestly, it's one of the lowest values of life, right? There's so many different things that are higher in value that you can exchange, besides, for your value. If you want to exchange your time, right, then there's so many different things that you can exchange other than money. You can exchange exposure, you can exchange value with someone, and you can get peace of mind, right? You can get knowledge, right? Which is worth more than money, right? Um, so when you go into, business creating, when you go into creating a business with that business mindset and you're only looking to make that money, right? You're essentially setting yourself up for mediocrity. You're gonna be really mediocre. You're gonna be really content. You're gonna be really frustrated, right? Because you didn't go into that business with a sense of passion. You didn't go into that business with a sense of purpose or a sense of meaning, right? So ask yourself, are you an entrepreneur? Or are you buying another job? Right? Ask yourself that every time you think about going into a business, right? Every time you think about opening up a new venture, right? Every time you think about investing into something, right? Are you buying another headache, or are you buying another asset? Right? So an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on greater than a normal financial risk in order to do so. So entrepreneur is someone who organizes themselves, someone who operates a business with a business model, right? Who doesn't just go in and just dive straight in with their head, dive their head straight into the payment, right? You don't want to go in head first, right? You want to take caution, right? You want to evaluate. You want to have the knowledge, right, and the expertise before you even know how to take that risk, right? An entrepreneur is someone who knows how to mitigate risk and knows when to take those risks, right? But what is entrepreneurship? This is where things start to get fun. Like, this is where we start to get into we start to think about we start to think about creation. We start to think about one of my favorite things, innovation, right? Entrepreneurship at its core is the process of starting, managing, and scaling a business. Plain and simple. Often involving taking on financial risks and innovating to create value, right? We talk about this every episode. We talk about this every week. We talk about innovation. We talk about creating value. Most importantly, everything comes down to what type of value are you creating, and what type of value are you receiving in return, right? So that all comes down to, the business model that you choose, right? The foundation that you build, right? And all that ties into, opportunity, right? And when you create a business and you become an entrepreneur, there's three things that you're going to need. You're going to need resources, you're going to need pursuit, and you're going to need creativity, right? Resources plus pursuit plus creativity equals value, and value equals opportunity. And we all just want the opportunity. We all just want the opportunity to send our kids to college. We all just want the opportunity to take a vacation and not have to worry about, missing 2 weeks pay, right? We all want to, be able to buy our kids the new Jordans and still, be able to, go have date night, right? We all want to be able to create a sense of comfort, a safety net, right? There's all certain specific things that we want to do with our lives, right? Maybe you want to go start a business, maybe you want to donate to charity, maybe you want to open a kids center, right? There's so many different things that you can do with that, right? So that's how you start. That's how you start to shift your mindset, right? And you're gonna start seeing these things change. Once you start looking at things about, when you start growing a team, right? When you start shifting that mindset and learning how to go into business with an entrepreneurial mindset instead of a business mindset, then you can start to, organize, and you can start to mitigate risk, right? And then you can start making profit, right? So that's how you start. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the 3 steps it takes to become an entrepreneur, right? We talked about how to start, but how do you become that, right? Like, I always say, like, we always pay for the first step, but we don't know, but we have to beg for the second step, right? So 3 steps that it takes to identify your market and become a successful entrepreneur. It is so important to, to identify these skill sets and to master these skill sets, right? Because this is how you be successful. This is how you scale any business. This is how you be you be the best that you can be. Right? So number one, you're going to identify your market. What does it take to be successful? Right? Like, basketball players, they tend to need to be fit. They need to eat a certain type of way, right? They have to work out a certain amount of hours a day. Pilots need to be more acute to attention, to and have attention to detail, right? A manager has to be able to lead, right? A pilot cannot be afraid of heights, right? So you gotta identify your market, right? You gotta know what you're looking for, right? And what is your market looking for, right? If you just want to make a product and you're just gonna sell it because you think people want to buy it, you're not gonna make any sales. You're not gonna get any leads, right? But if you identify the market and you want to solve a problem and you want to make sure that people are getting value from you and essentially, getting more than what they pay for, then you can create a community and you can start to identify the market, and then you can start to identify where you want to create value, where you want to slide in, where you want to, what type of, product you're going to create, right? If I'm a personal trainer, then I'm gonna create things like live sessions or live workout sessions. I'm gonna go to the local gyms and I'm gonna hold classes. I'm gonna have recipe books, right? If I'm a pilot, I'm gonna need and these are things that you want to do. You want to start niching down, right? If I'm a pilot, am I specializing in teaching people how to find the best contracts? Am I specializing teaching people how to fly a certain type of plane, right? Or a certain type of jet, whatever the case may be. Are you gonna be in combat? Are you gonna be just a regular airlines pilot? Like, you have to niche down, right, and identify what market you are going to serve, right? So niching down is as much as much as you can, right? Being as specific as you can, right? So number two, you're gonna start thinking like a seller, but buying like a consumer. What does that mean though? Like, what does that mean? Like, that means I'm gonna evaluate every situation, right? I'm gonna evaluate every situation as a business opportunity, but I'm going to spend money like a customer, right? Meaning I'm going to invest in the market, and I'm going to spend money in other places. I'm going to spend money if I'm still learning, or if I and we're always going to be learning, until we die. But if I'm still learning in my field, right? If I'm still trying to figure things out, but I do have products, right? And all you have to do is get to a place where you figure out how to do something and then teach the step under, right? All I have to do is get to a certain type of step. If I even just started my business, I can teach people how to start a business, right? So you want to think like a seller, but buy like a consumer. right? That means I'm investing in equipment and personal development. That means I'm doing my research. I'm doing my due diligence, right? That means I'm talking and learning from other business owners, learning, where they've seen their most bumps in the road when they first started out, or when they first made their first million, right? Or when they first, got their first customer, right? Or, when they first got their first refund, right? There's so many different things that you have to start learning and, thinking like a seller, right? You want to start thinking like a business owner, and business owners and entrepreneurs are always trying to learn, and they're always trying to innovate and create, right? So you have to think like that. You have to think like that, but you have to spend like you want people to spend with you, right? If you are not willing to pay $1,000 to invest in your personal development, don't expect anyone to buy your 997 course, right? So think like a seller, but buy like a consumer, right? And you're going to start seeing a shift in your life. You're going to see a shift in your vision. You're going to see a shift in your mentality. You're going to see things in a different light, right? So number three, you're going to create a brand. This is the biggest, this is the most amount of leverage you can have as a human being, right? Is a brand. This is the way the successful stay successful is they have a brand. Entrepreneurs and business owners are, brands. Gucci could use an $11 shirt from Walmart and slap their logo on it and make millions off of it, right? When people want a luxury car, they're gonna go get a Jag. They're gonna go get a Lambo, right? They're paying for the brand's reputation, not necessarily the product per se, right? So I have to become my business. I have to live that lifestyle, right? That comes back to what I said, talking about mentality and lifestyle, right? I have to become that, right? Because I want to teach people how to become that, right? Right? And ain't that like the best job to have, right? You become someone great and then you teach people how to become that. Wouldn't you have fun scaling that? Like, wouldn't you have fun like become if you're the best mom, wouldn't you have, you know, the most fun and feel like you're, fulfilling your purpose the most if you're teaching other mothers how to be the best mothers, right? Or other fathers how to be, good parents, or how to stay together and keep a two-parent household, right? Is that important to you, right? So, they're paying for your reputation, right? And this is going to excuse me. This is going to organically raise awareness. If I'm a personal trainer, but I'm on Facebook eating Wendy's and McDonald's every day, no one is going to believe that I want to teach people how to work out, or I'm invested in teaching people how to lose weight. When I post a video at the gym, or I show them 5 ways to get a six pack in 30 days, I create organic traffic, right? And there's two ways that you're going to create traffic for your business. You're going to create organic traffic, or you're going to create targeted traffic, right? Organic traffic is when you create, things that you're doing in your everyday lifestyle. If I'm a personal trainer, I'm going to wake up and post on Instagram my daily smoothie that I made today, right? If I'm a photographer, I'm going to post, me setting up all the lighting before I do a photo shoot, right? If I'm a musician, right? I'm going to post me doing a rough version of my song, and then post what it looks like at the end, right? Me personally, I do credit when I do my credit repair, my organic traffic, I'll show me sending out the letters with somebody's name on it, not showing their personal information. I ain't gonna put your address out there, nothing like that, but I might show like the envelopes with all the businesses, with all their information, and showing it going out to Equifax, right? Showing that this is how I'm doing things, this is the daily lifestyle, this is the brand, right? This is what I'm portraying, right? That's organic traffic. When you want to create targeted traffic, you're going to create, you're going to create a specific audience that you want to serve, right? So if I'm playing off the credit, right? If I want to teach young entrepreneurs how to fix their credit to go start their business, right? I'm a niche down, right? And I'm going to target young entrepreneurs. So I know that's going to be around 25 to 17 or 18, right? I know that that's going to be the age frame, right? So I know that when you're dealing with a younger audience, you're not going to necessarily want to go on Facebook. You're going to want to go on Instagram. But if I wanted to do more things like picture ads, or just doing lives, right? I'm gonna probably go on Facebook, right? So you always want to incorporate that into your business, right? So creating a brand is going to be the most leverage you're going to ever be able to have as a business owner, right? So So let's talk about what happens when you start to make that shift. Let's talk about what starts to happen when you start to shift your mindset. Let's talk about how things start to change for you, what things start to look like, right? When you become this entrepreneur and you go and approach any type of situation and you approach it with that entrepreneurial mindset, right? And that just means taking that financial risk in hopes of making profit, right? When you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you're gonna want to take financial risks in hopes of making profit, right? So what does that look like in your life? How do you make sure your bills are paid and you still have access to the money you need to run a company? What does that look like? That means how do you do that, right? I'm gonna give you one big way, one big path to take. Credit. Credit is the number one way that you're going to use your entrepreneurial mindset to, get yourself out of your situation comfortably, right? And it's not even comfortably, and it's not going to be smoothly, right? Well, here's what I'll say. I'll say it's not you're not going to get out of it comfortably, right? Because when you want to change and you want to create a new different lifestyle, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to do things that you've never done. But if you want to get out of it smoothly and not have to come out saying, damn, I just started my business. Yeah, we made a little bit of money, but now we're $10,000 in debt. Or I just started this business and we're 2 years in and it's not working anymore, right? This is how you're going to create new opportunities, right? And when you're in an entrepreneurial mindset, you're always going to want to jump the gun and you're always going to want to do things, just I know me personally, I'm a victim of being fascinated with everything. I could start every business, right? Just because I'm fascinated with how to make things work, right? But when we talk about credit, credit is, the way that you can manage and you can manage and balance your finances, right? If you don't have money for payroll, you can go out and take a loan out. If you have great credit, you can go out and take out equipment loans, right? And you could pay a certain amount on it. If you want to go start a cargo van business and you have great credit, or you build up your business credit, right? You go get trade lines, right? And you start to create relationships with banks and credit unions or fintech institutions, right? You are going to start using credit to leverage it and use debt to create income, right? But let's talk about what creditors and lenders mean to the everyday person, right? Credit was put in place for you. Banks are the foundation of the US, right? Banks are, what make the world go round. Money makes the world go round. If we don't have banks, our essential, our way of living is going to drastically change, right? So creditors and lenders make the world go round. And we are the ones who are getting, we're getting that credit, or we're getting that extension of funds in our account, right? And we're going to start talking a little bit about credit. We're going to be talking about promissory notes. We're going to be talking about, consent. We're going to be talking about how to get things removed off your credit report to shape that credit report to where you can get great credit and start to look for financial just funding, whether it's business or personal funding, right? But creditors and lenders are here to give you money. Now they have to make money, but they're here to give you money. So as long as you know how to play the game, you're going to be able to always find funding. And when you find funding and you know how to make it work for you, you know how to make debt work for you, you're never going to be in debt. Right? I was talking with somebody about this the other day. They said, "Well, how do you know that it's going to work?" Well, let me ask you this. If I go buy a business, right? And say I buy it, if I got a high limit credit card, right, and it says a $10,000 credit limit. I know that me personally, I don't want to go over that 30% utilization before the statement date or my due payment. Meaning, I don't want to go over, I don't want to seem too desperate when I'm spending my money before they report it to the bureaus every month, right? So say I have a $10,000 credit card with and I'm willing to spend that limit. Say I go spend $5,000 on a business, right? And say the business only brings in, say, 800 a month, right? Which is very, that's some people's rent, right? Extra $800 a month on automation, right, is very useful, right? But I bought the bit. Some people say, why would I buy a business for 5,000 if it's only making 800 a month? Well, think about it. Think how long that's gonna make you to think how long it's gonna take you to make that $5,000 left back. Or if I want to scale the business and I want to scale it to $1,000 a month, it's gonna take me 5 months instead of 7 or 8, right? But think about, say your payment is, you got a $5,000, you ran up $5,000. So say your payment is 200, right? It'll be around that range, right? Say your payment is 200. You just made $800 easily off of that one business that you bought, right? So you're paying your statement, right? You're paying your 30 you're getting down to that 30% utilization before your statement date, or you're just making that due payment, right? So you just make your $200 minimum payment, right? On time, right? You got to make it on time, right? And like I said, when I bought that business, I know for a fact it's gonna bring at least $800 in a month. Right? Some months it might be 750, some months it might be 600, some months it might be 1600, right? So you always want to make sure you keep that balance. But say your balance is $5,000 and you're making $800 a month and your minimum due payment is $200. That's extra $600, right? So where are you really getting in debt? Ask yourself that. If you can make the money work for you, why work for the money? Right? So learn how to make credit work for you. Learn how to leverage your debt, right? One thing I always like to say is people think that people wonder why Elon Musk is so rich. Do you think he really bought that $1 billion company with $1 billion of his own dollars? No. He went and got lenders. He went and got, people who were willing to fund that to where they were getting a percentage and to where everybody was eating, right? So you gotta learn that balance, right? You gotta learn how to make money work for you. And we're gonna keep diving deeper into this rabbit hole of, just personal development and credit, right? So what that means to the average person or the average business owner is that you can do it, right? You can use these resources. You can find these connections, right? And you can make them work for you. That's what that means for you, right? And you can always find a situation to where it's better than the other, right? And you can always make, changes. You can always, that's why we talked about the last episode, quitters being the best winners, because you know how to, you know when to take a step back, you know when to go all in, right? So moving on, let's move on to the quote of the week. Um, I love this quote. I really love, what it signifies as far as this episode, right? So the quote of the week is the only way to escape the matrix, aka the rat race, is to unlearn everything you've been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis. So let's break that down real quick. I'm gonna just give you a brief, let's just break it down. So the only way to escape the rat race, the matrix, is to unlearn, is to reprogram the way that we have been taught, to where we have been trained since grade school, since first grade, how to stand in a single file line, how to eat when you're told, how to raise your hand when you want to go to the restroom, right? Excuse me. Right? We have to unlearn that. We have to unlearn everything that we've been taught about how, only people that go to college are somebody, right? We have to unlearn how, we need to take Advil when, we have a headache, or we need to take Mucinex when we have a stuffy nose. We have to be conscious enough to rebuild and, reteach ourselves a belief system that is going to be based on, personal development, financial freedom, passive income, right? And you got to think critically about it, and you have to make critical decisions, right? And you have to analyze yourself. You have to analyze your market. You have to analyze the economy, right? You have to analyze your personal health, your personal finances, right? You have to be able to analyze that, right? So the only way to escape the matrix or the rat race is to unlearn or reprogram yourself to become a different person, right? Because we were all taught to live how to die. Okay? Unless you were taught by somebody who has done this exact thing, right? Excuse me. So I want you guys to look at this, right? This is the rat race. This is what it looks like. Wake up every day. We go to work. We come home. We eat our food. We sit in front of the TV. We might watch, Netflix. And we go out to the bar every now and then. We go, to the cookouts and to the basketball games. But what do we have to wake up and do in the morning or the next day? Go to work. That's the rat race. What if we were here? What if we were in a situation to where we wake up every morning and we're servicing people that we want to service? We're making the money that we want to make. Our people are taken care of. And all we have to worry about is creating value that we already have learned how to create and that is going to help someone and solve a problem and make more people are going to pay more for information and for you to solve a certain type of problem depending on the dire the how big the problem is or how dire the situation is, right? And people are going to pay for that, and there's certain people that are going to pay. There's someone who might pay you $1 million because they have $2 million in debt. There's someone who might pay you $100 because they have $500 in debt, right? It all comes down to what is that worth to somebody else and how you can leverage your value and your knowledge to then solve a problem for them, right? So, what if you were there? Like, what would that do for you? What would that do for your family? What would that do for everything that you've thought about, right? All those vacations you wanted to take, all those times you wanted to call off of work, but you knew you couldn't, right? So, the process starts with asking those questions. Then we have to learn the answers to these questions, right? Once you learn how to grab that information and grab that knowledge and the wisdom, your life will shift, your mindset will shift, right? Learn what type of value you bring, right? And that's when you start to become mentally free. That's when you start to, you start to learn about financial freedom. You start that journey. And it's going to be hard and it's going to be even harder to keep going, right? Businesses are hard to start, but they're harder to keep running, right? And what is your life going to look like, right? That's going to, and I'm not going to lie, it's going to look like you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose relationships, right? But you're going to gain relationships, you're going to gain friends, you're going to create a legacy, you're going to gain self-respect and peace. You're going to gain something that you've never had, something that you probably never thought you would have had until you shifted that mindset, right? And it all comes down to you. It all comes down to what you want to accomplish in life, right? So, I'm gonna wrap things up with this episode, right? And I loved, just everything in 2025, what we bringing in 2025. Like we coming with the heat, right? Things are starting to change. I want everybody to start thinking about creating a legacy in 2025 for years to come. I don't want you to think about what you're gonna be doing, in 5 years. I want you gonna be to think about what money you're gonna be making in 15 years, right? Right. So I want to talk about my courses dropping. My courses dropping. We're going to be talking about the Visionary Mindset Academy. It is dropping around 2 weeks from now, right? I want everybody, I'm gonna drop the link below for the free webinar that's going to be for next Friday, right? And we're going to be talking about how to shift your mindset. We're going to be going into depth into all the things that we've talked about into every episode, right? And we're just gonna start creating new relationships. We're going to start creating new value, right? And we're going to give you guys what you've been waiting for, right? What I've been hearing so much about, right? So I want you guys to I want you guys to comment, right? Let me know how y'all feeling about this episode. Let me know if I'm getting better. Let me know if things are starting to shift, if you're starting to look at things differently as well, right? So comment, let me know. Subscribe. If you like I said, if you start investing into me, I'm gonna keep investing into you. Right? So if you liking what I'm saying, you feel, you feel the bars I'm spinning, subscribe, right? Hit that sub button, right? And book a call. We do credit repair on my end. We do mindset coaching. We do one thing I'm gonna start doing is motivational Mondays where you can start hopping on a Zoom call. We're gonna have a lot of people coming in and we're just gonna be talking and talking about how to stay disciplined, how to stay motivated, how to stay anticipated, right? And how to create, that right environment for yourself, right? So book a call. There's so many different services that we offer, so many different ways that we can help you jumpstart and push and keep accelerating, right? Grab my ebook. It's $30. It's gonna give you the top 30 businesses that anybody can start right now with the lowest failure rates, right? Little to no startup cost, right? Grab it now. It's only $30. right? And this is going to teach you how to, how to start these businesses, where to go to start these businesses, what type of licenses and what type of things you're going to need when you are starting these businesses, right? This is all how you're going to create passive income. These are all going to be small passive income streams. Or, if personally you love to do these things, that there's going to be a bunch of things in the book that, there's going to be something there for everybody. Right. So grab it now. It's $30. All the links are going to be below. And, just, keep investing in me. Like I said, I'm gonna keep investing in you. I'm gonna come back with another episode tomorrow. We're gonna be talking a little bit about credit. We're gonna be talking a little bit about, just shifting your mindset, how to create a new brand, right? So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about tomorrow. And, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, book a call, grab my ebook. The course is dropping soon, 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 and I hope to see everybody there. And I hope to see you guys soon, right? I love you guys, and I appreciate y'all time, right?